Of the Touring Cars Championship, to be exact. What's different about that, I hear you say, it's a lot less noisy. You can see the whole track from one spot, and almost anyone can have a go. OK, we didn't fool you. These are radio-controlled touring cars, 10th scale replicas of the real thing. They are run off batteries and are remote-controlled by some smooth operators from a rostrum above the track, reaching speeds of between 30 and 40 miles per hour. This is serious stuff. Colin, you've organised this whole event. I mean, what is it all about today?
Basically, it's the final round of our Touring Car Championship, where we've got 120 competitors having 3 qualifying races and finals, and basically just having a great day out.
And it's a battle, isn't it, between 2 of them?
That's right, yes. We've got Mike Penfold leading the series at the moment, but Pete Stevens is very hot on his heels, and anything can happen in the qualifying today. Mike, I would say, is favourite, but Pete will not take it lying down.
This is where it all happens. Explain how the race is actually
Yeah,
run.
sure. This is actually our race control computer timing equipment. What we've got here on the top is an automatic lap counting system, which basically we don't have to touch anything. It's all done automatically. The cars carry a very small transmitter. Main computer control here, and then printer where we actually sort of get full sort of hard copies of the results as they come through. And then after sort of the 3 rounds of qualifying today, the top 10 drivers are going to the A final, which will be the fastest final of the day.
The racing pits may not look so glamorous, almost resembling a car boot sale. Models are bought in kit form, each one worth up to £1,000 when built, and the drivers, or should I say operators, spend hours fine-tuning engines, and races are won or lost here. But it's not only popular with the big boys, it's a growing sport amongst teenagers, like current junior champion 12-year-old John Leonard from Swansea. He's a bit of a hot shot on the track. John took up racing radio-controlled cars after, believe it or not, a motorcycle accident years ago, and with his dad builds and repairs the cars himself. So, how does it all work?
That's a receiver, and the signal is from the transmitter. That's like the throttle and reverse stick, and that's left and right. And then that goes down that wire and into there. And then that plug powers the servo and tells it what to do really. And that operates the steering. And then the speed controller is picks up the signal off that wire that goes down there. And then that powers the motor.
Do you want to put this on? But this is the car they all want to beat. Number 4, the Alfa Romeo. The driver is Mike Penfold. He can take the overall Touring Cars Championship if he races well today. Mike, there is a serious side to this event. You've got to win it here, aren't you? You're leading the series here.
That's right, yeah, I'm leading the series.
And who's the big rival here? Is Peter Stevens?
That's right, yeah, Pete Stevens. If he sets the fastest time of the day, then I must set the second fastest time to actually beat him. So the pressure's on him now. I set FDD in the second round. So now it's all up to him. If he beats me in his last round, then he's done well.
Peter Stevens is driving the BMW. He knows the pressure is on him.
At the moment, the biggest problem has been getting the right grip with the right choice of tyres. The car's fast enough, but it's laying the power down at the moment.
Are you confident?
Fairly confident. I'm not too far back on the grid. I'm behind him, so I can follow him around and then try and find the time to get past him.
The overall championship at stake in this final qualifying heat. Mike Penfold's the favourite, and the tension mounts as the cars are placed on the grid.
Right, drivers, get that car on the grid, please. Make sure your transmitters are off. We're going to have to go. Right, listen up, drivers. Over to race control.
They're off, and the top 2 neck and neck into the first bend as they draw ahead of the chasing group. Number 4, the white Alfa Romeo, now leading the pack, driven by Mike Penfold, giving the youngsters a lesson in precision driving. But the man with the mission to come up with the fastest time, Pete Stevens, is a close second, knowing he's got to start cutting a few corners if he's to overtake the leader.
First, Mike Penfold, hold on, Pete Stevens.
But in the last few seconds of the race, number 4 was out on its own with some faultless driving from Mike. A final desperate effort from Pete Stevens ended in disaster. His pre-race tactics obviously hadn't paid off.
I thought Pete might have me in there. He was trying to psych me out for about an hour before this race.
How did you see the race?
Yeah.
How did you see the race, Pete?
It got the start, got away at the beginning.
Yeah.
And the tyres were a little bit slippery, but we made up some ground towards the end, but not quite enough.
Right. He had all the work to do. All I had to do was just stay out in front. I knew all the pressure was on. Oh, Pete!
Old Pete, they're all younger. They got the reactions over me.
The light relief on the day was provided by some of Britain's top touring car drivers. The real thing, that is. Rob Gravett, Works Peugeot #1 driver, looked a little nervous.
Touring car was hard, this is even harder.
And Vauxhall's Jeff Allen couldn't even work out where his car was. Jeff, you're taking this very seriously?
Very, very seriously. I can't even find my car on the track at the moment.
But you're racing someone else's at the moment.
Yeah, did one lap and crashed underneath a parked road car and was lost for half an hour.
But it was the current British champion, Tim Harvey, causing the biggest fuss.
Okay, Colin.
Yeah.
Right, not bad for a start, but front shocks want changing. It doesn't turn in very well. I want new batteries throughout the system. I want the proper race engine in it. I want my drinks bottle refreshed. Obviously, that was a tiring heat. Apart from that, should be okay.
I'll do my best for you and I'll get it ready for your next run, Tim, don't worry.
Get back where you belong.
Tim finally got himself sorted. The lineup then: Wyn Percy, Tim Harvey, Jeff Allen, James Kay, Rob Gravett, Matthew Neal. Take it away, boys. Somehow Tim Harvey crossed the line first, with Matthew Neal second and Rob Gravett snatching third. Tim, is there any truth in the rumour that you cheated to win that race?
There's absolutely no truth in the rumour. I either miss my vocation in life or it's a sign of a misspent youth, but of course cheating is never in the plan, no, not at all.
A good start to the season there, huh?
Absolutely, it's probably the only thing I shall win all year, no, yeah, a lot of fun.
That performance inspired me to have a go, particularly when I was presented with a specially made Sky sports car. I certainly couldn't do any worse than that lot. Or could I?
Yellow transponders, 2, 3, 6 and 8, please.
Back to the serious racing and the grand final with the 10 fastest qualifiers of the day. Mike Penfold, the series champion, has pole position. Peter Stevens, driving number 4, is seeking revenge. And out to beat him, the young hotshot John Leonard, who we met earlier and who did well to qualify.
Guys, open race control, here we go.
Pete Stevens was out for revenge, but his eagerness to make a flying start cost him the race. His big rival Mike Penfold took his usual place at the front, setting the standard. A disappointed Stevens now found himself tailed off at the back, struggling to salvage some pride and finish in front of the 2 juniors, John Leonard and Wesley Payne. As the rest of the field jostled for position, there was no doubt about the leader, as he put in another perfect performance to finish in style. Mike Penfold with his Alfa Romeo, fastest man on the track today, wins the overall championship final. But it wasn't such a smooth ride for everyone. Motor racing just wouldn't be motor racing without the inevitable crash.
Barker in charge of the